Before we start, if you guys enjoy spooky stories about rules, horror, or time travel for the time being, be sure to drop a subscribe if you enjoy this content. Let's get into the story. Lock every door. It's a rule I lived by for years, and I've been too afraid to post about it since it only brings back the horrifying memories of that night. Never before in my life had I been so close to death. It's hard for me to put in words how terrified I've become over the years. It doesn't matter that I left the town and everyone behind. Every night, now, I've ingrained it into my subconscious, and I'm looking for advice on how I should deal with it. For context, I should tell you why I feel this way. And it all started with an old rumor in my hometown. Old townsfolk would talk loudly during community gatherings about it. It was all they would talk about. Why do people need to lock their houses up right before the sun went down? A lot of people believed them. It explains why people went missing all the time. They said that every night, a creature called the Snatcher would go on the hunt. A tall, humanoid creature that was a deep void black with enlarged legs and fingers, his body skinny except for his large, featureless head. He had rows of teeth that jutted out from the chasm that was his mouth. He needed people to feed, and so he would check for houses with unlocked doors or windows to sneak in and feast. So you know what I did? I decided to test if the Snatcher existed. Don't ask me why. I couldn't tell you an exact reason. There's so much going on in my head. I could answer you in so many ways. One day, feeling extremely brave, I set up a camera on my front door and left the front door unlocked. I won't go into extreme detail, for I worked myself up whenever I think about it, and I always end up breaking down, terrified. Anyways, I was in my room reading a book when it happened. The lights flickered and I heard loud, scratching noises coming from the front of the house. I sat frozen in pure terror listening to it. I didn't move until I heard the front door burst open. In a loud, deep voice, it echoed through the house. "You forgot to lock the door." I quickly darted to my closet and closed it with just enough space to peek through. As it ravaged through the house and smashed the furniture, I heard my dad try and confront him. The creature killed him. I heard it snap his bones and chew his flesh, the sloshing of his blood and the crunching of bones that almost made me throw up. If I wasn't terrified, I probably would have. I prayed for it to stop. The creature barked, "I know there's more of you, but this will suffice." It then quickly lumbered out of the front door. The police were there within a couple of minutes. They talked to me in my room as they tried to clean up the mess that was left in the house. The mess, what was left of my father. When I walked out of my room to leave the house with the officers, I saw what they couldn't cover up. The massive blood stains all over their wall, pieces of flesh and bone strewn all about. His body was mostly covered, and I couldn't see what was left, and I'm glad I didn't want to see what happened. The police found my camera and watched the footage. They wouldn't let me see any of it and decided to claim the camera as evidence. To this day, I haven't been the same. I live in constant fear that one day I'll slip up and forget to lock the door, and then it will come for me. Even though I moved away, I still hear about it. News reports talking about more sightings and more people dying. Talking about it, I suppose, is a way to seek help and also for me to warn and inform more people about this. No one should have to experience whatever the hell that thing is, so please engrave it into your minds as well. Lock up every door.